I grew up in a Christian home, surrounded by loving parents who instilled in me the teachings of the Bible. But as I entered my teenage years, I began to drift away from my faith. The world's temptations and peer pressure slowly drew me in, and I found myself living a life that contradicted everything I had been taught. I thought I was living the good life. I had friends, popularity, and success in school. But deep down, I knew something was missing. I felt empty and unfulfilled, like a void that couldn't be filled no matter how hard I tried. One day, I stumbled upon an old Bible in my room, dusty and forgotten. As I flipped through its pages, a verse caught my eye: "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Romans 3 verse 23. Suddenly, the weight of my sinfulness hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that my rebellion against God had separated me from Him. I felt ashamed, guilty, and scared. But as I continued reading, I discovered the promise of forgiveness and redemption through Jesus Christ. I began attending church again, listening to sermons, and reading the Bible voraciously. The Word spoke directly to my heart, convicting me of my sin and pointing me toward salvation. One Sunday, the pastor preached on repentance. He said, repentance is not just turning away from sin. It's turning toward God. In that moment, I knew I had a choice to make. I surrendered my life to Christ, confessing my sins and asking for forgiveness. Tears streamed down my face as I felt the weight of my sin lift off my shoulders. My journey to repentance wasn't easy. There were struggles, setbacks, and temptations. But with each step, I drew closer to God. I discovered the joy of serving Him, the peace that comes from obedience, and the freedom of living for eternity. Through prayer, fellowship, and Bible study, I grew in my faith. I learned to trust God's sovereignty, to rely on His strength, and to rest in His love. Looking back, I realized that my journey to repentance was not just about turning away from sin, but about turning toward a loving Father who awaited me with open arms. Reflection questions. 1. What triggered your journey to repentance? 2. How did you experience God's forgiveness and redemption? 3. What Bible verses or teachings helped guide you toward salvation? 4. How has your life changed since surrendering to Christ? 5. What challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them? Share your own story of repentance and encouragement with others.